Blog number 62. Yeah, I'm gonna need you to repeat that. Over the course of history, man's intrinsic gift to effectively listen has come to be known by several different definitions. Some have come to label the ability to hear as selective hearing. Others have defined it as having too much wax in your ears. Both of these highly technical definitions work in my case, but I would like to also add a third possibility, what I have come to refer to as slurred hearing. What do I mean by slurred hearing? I mean that one of the current effects of my SCA that has developed over the last several years is my inability to hear myself correctly. Or more specifically, my body's lack of ability to hear internal mandates very clearly. Random shuffling of the feet is often caused because of this occasional slurring. A constant string of orders to the legs to pick up the feet during the engagement of walking will in general be heard correctly, until suddenly when the legs will hear some slurring and the process will get all messed up, and they will hear something along the lines of, "Okay, listen up, because at this very moment we are going to go ice skating, people, so start skimming the ground like you mean it." Sometimes the best way to keep them out of trouble is just to find a nice bench and give them some time off for behavior. Sometimes it's good behavior, and sometimes it's bad. All three of these definitions can be assigned to me, but not every one of those definitions can accurately be applied to every member of my body. Do I really think that my legs have wax in their ears? No, I probably don't, but I do think that they, besides their slurred hearing, have also exhibited from time to time some very selective hearing. I clearly will give them an order that has come straight out of headquarters, and they will just ignore it. Of course, they think that I don't notice and that they're getting away with all this. As they whistle and they attempt to nonchalantly walk away, but the headquarters have eyes and they're always watching, except at night, that is, when the office closes and everyone goes home for 6 or 7 hours. But again, because they were selectively listening and didn't hear the end of the day call, occasionally the legs will attempt to break out during these quiet times by making sudden and violent moves, I guess towards what they perceive to be freedom. This usually sets off a painful proximity alarm and wakes everyone in the system up. Searchlights snap on and begin crisscrossing the ground like there's been a seriously massive breach in the containment system, and all escape members need to be found, and found rather quickly. The headquarters instantly becomes a flourish of confused activity, as everyone involved is trying to shake the cobwebs out of their own headquarters and to resolve the crisis as quickly as possible, so that the main office can be closed again. No matter how quickly this may happen, though, the damage has already been done. And although the lights at the main office have been turned off again, and everyone has returned to their own homes, all does not return to a peaceful quiet of before. There usually will be like a mouse or a random thought or a situation that is currently happening at the executive level that will choose this time to begin running and bouncing around, successfully keeping the headquarters abuzz with activity. All because of that darn selective hearing. My legs may not have wax in their ears, but my ears apparently get wax in their ears now and then. I don't know how else to explain why my hands don't always respond well to my ceaselessly positive self-talk. This would seem to be the explanation, as the only middleman between the sound coming out of my mouth and my hands are the ears, where the sound enters back into the system and then travels to the intended appendages. The wax in my ears will effectively stop the forward progression of any verbal commands. However, sometimes this backfires. Sometimes the commands are internally stored there until the unsuccessful unblockage can be accomplished, usually by the way of a Q-tip. The unsaved message will then surge rather quickly through the system, causing the hands to fly up in what appears to be sudden, random, and completely unprovoked manner. If this happens to you, as it does to me, all I can say is that the observation of this phenomenon by others and their interpretation of that event will greatly depend on the location that you're in when this whole thing goes down. Of course, it does seem odd to me that anyone would choose to clean their ears anywhere near other than the bathroom. But hey, I'm not here to judge, and you just go right ahead and clean where you gotta clean. So at this point, I've established that the act of hearing myself is more or less a hit and miss proposition, a process that I am still working on. Now I would like to move on to a related topic, one that for me has come to be known as what? For most people, this would be more commonly known as active listening. I really do try, but between the faulty short-term memory that I admitted having in my last blog, the selective hearing, the earwax, and the slurring when I hear, I don't have a chance. That doesn't mean that I don't keep trying, though. This means that not only do I have to hear what I am trying to tell myself, but I have to act on that information. I have learned this the hard way, and I want my experience to save you from potentially making the same mistake. If I approach uneven ground, then a voice of reason tells me that I should not attempt to walk there. If I don't immediately stop, but hesitate to act and say, "What?" then I am probably already taking a step ahead. This usually never ends very well, and this could have been avoided by actively listening to myself. Do you see what I mean? Were you even listening? What?